Herman Cain, I am struck by the fact that so many Americans, given the rhetoric coming from the Republican Party, given the Tea Party revolution, still say they don't trust Republicans to reduce the deficit. What do you have to say?
Well, what I have to say is people have to remember the Republicans and Democrats are really the same party. The leadership for being serious comes from the White House, and that's why I support Ron Paul. These people are not going to do what I call fiscal surgery. That's what's going to be required if we need to get the economy under control. And it will take a doctor to do it. And let's be honest, Ron Paul is a doctor, and all of the others are not.
You know, we get Republicans on the factor, and immediately they want to point a finger at President Obama. But why don't you talk about Republican responsibility here? Why aren't Republicans talking about the need for entitlement cuts, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, defense spending, and making that case to other Republicans?
Well, I don't know why they are not talking about it, but Ron Paul is talking about it. He's been talking about it for 30 years, and now the American public is finally beginning to talk about it. Now, as I have said, the budget requires fiscal surgery. It's going to require horizontal cuts, and it's going to require vertical cuts. Cuts here and cuts there. Now, we must have a doctor if we're going to be performing surgery. And that's why we need Ron Paul in the White House doing the surgery.
We have not heard any of these big cuts coming from Republicans yet. They're focused right now on all these continuing resolutions. And just today, President Obama, before he took off, signed another continuing resolution to keep the government working for another 3 weeks. But he has not been able to respond to any big cuts in terms of entitlement spending being proposed by Republicans because they haven't proposed any.
Juan, I seriously doubt that you will hear about any plans to reduce the deficit until Ron Paul is in the White House. You know, you need to have a large amount of integrity if you're going to go to the White House and actually act upon your convictions. Now, I know that I have flip-flopped on many positions throughout the years. All other politicians do the same thing. But I know that Ron Paul is right as rain. He has never flipped or flopped on any subject or issue. Now, I have a 4-point plan to fix the budget. Number 1, we need to nominate Ron Paul as a candidate for the Republican Party. Now, number 2, we need to support Ron Paul and see that he's elected in the general election. Now, number 3, and this is very important, we need to get out of the way and let Ron Paul get the job done. Now, normally I would have point 4, but Ron Paul always cuts waste, and so he doesn't even need point 4 to get the job done. So, I strongly suggest that all Americans go to www.ronpaul2012.com and put some money into the collection plate, because the only way we are going to get out of this mess is to go back to the Constitution and elect a constitutionalist such as Ron Paul for president. Thank you very much.